Hey YouTube, what's happening? Chris here. I want to bring you an update on Litecoin. Right now we're at $47.79. We're down 0.95%. And if you all could like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We're trying on this video for 150 likes. You all have been killing it for me. I'm just beyond thankful. And I just can't believe how much we've been growing and learning together. I know a lot of people down in the comments say they've been learning a lot. I've been learning a lot from you all. So just very appreciative that you're here with me. So guys, what we're going to do today, I'm going to outline. I have 5 bullish things I'm going to go over with you, and I have 4 bearish things that I'm going to go over with you. I'm going to show you my upside targets, I'm going to show you my downside targets, and our sideways targets. Remember, on this program here, or this channel, we always have a plan for the upside, the downside, and the sideways. And I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not a cryptocurrency expert. I'm a guy here who's analyzing the market. I've been studying for about a year now, working really hard, reading a lot of different books. And remember, in cryptocurrency, y'all, it's the wild, wild west. And that's something you always have to remember. The textbooks could say 100%, yes, this pattern's going to work out. And then all of a sudden, a big whale comes in, moves the market in a direction you weren't expecting. And that's why we're not market makers. We have to ride their coattails. So remember that, guys. No one's going to be perfect in this space. You can't be perfect in this space. The order books are too thin. A whale can come in at any time and move it however they want. So that's why we're prepared for the upside, the downside, and the sideways. And we're going to get into this. So guys, I'm going to first start out with my bullish points and my bullish targets. So what we're seeing here, bullish wise, we're still in a short term to intermediate term uptrend from $22. So when we were continuously making our lower highs and lower lows as we were falling and coming down here, you can see that switch where we started to make higher lows. And once we started to do that, higher highs and higher lows, we started to make this or create this short term trend. And this started back on December 14th, and since then we have been in an uptrend. We've been having those higher lows and higher highs in the short term here. So that's a bullish thing, guys. We want to see if this short term can turn into an intermediate term and then turn into a long term. And remember, with these trends, you're still going to be having pullbacks, guys. That's part of it. You're going to have a pump up. It's like a staircase, and then you're going to have a pullback. So always be prepared for the pullback. But the main thing that I want to see stay intact is, number one, I want to stay up above this 200-day moving average. That is a big deal. But say we were to lose that, I would want to see us hold this trend line. We would not want closes below this trend line. If we started to get closes below this trend line, then we could definitely fall down to where we're starting to test areas, you know, down around this $30 range. And then it would be potentially down here at that $22 to see if we get a double bottom off there to continue to move up. But right now, we're not at that point. This trend line's still intact. We're still moving up. So that's number one bullish sign. Number two, we're holding up above the 20 EMA in green, that moving average, up above the 50 moving average in blue, and up above the 200-day moving average in pink there. And that 200-day moving average, that's your long-term moving average. That's what a lot of long-term investors look at. And we have been, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've had 5 closes up above it so far right now. So we don't want to lose that. So it is bullish that we're up above these moving averages. Bitcoin is not there yet on the 200-day moving average, and Litecoin is. So it's been leading the market. So that's another point that is bullish. So we have 2 bullish points there. Point number 3, higher highs and higher lows. And you can see that taking place here in this trend. How here was a high, higher low, higher high. Here was our higher low. We moved sideways, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. And now we're going to see right here, guys, if we're going to stall out here, kind of move sideways, if we're going to drop back down and test into this area, or if this is just a little stall out right now, and then we're going to push up and we're going to try to test to get up over that $51.26. So higher highs and higher lows, that has been another bullish sign. Number 4, we have the golden cross, our 20 EMA over top of our 200-day moving average. So that's your short-term moving average over top of your long-term moving average. And that's taking place right here in green over top of this pink. That is your 200-day. So our 20 EMA over top of our 200-day moving average. So that's bullish. And then obviously, guys, number 5, this trend line is still intact right here. We have not even come down to test this yet, which I do believe we'd most likely get a bounce off it, but we'll have to see when that time comes, if that time comes. All right? Now, on the bearish side, what I'm seeing is decreasing volume. See how the volume's going down? And this moving average here, that's for the volume. And you can see it's starting to point down. We're kind of falling off right here. So I would definitely say that that is a bearish sign that we're dealing with right now. Number 2, the current candle that we have. So what happened was yesterday We were pushing up. We had a nice close. Remember, we talked about off this hammer, if we had these continuous closes, it'd be similar to what we were seeing over here. And that was kind of playing out until today so far. Today, we have not been able to get up above where our high was yesterday, where we wicked up to. So now we're going to have to pay attention to this, see if this turns into some type of doji, and if this was a top, and if we're going to come back here and set some type of equilibrium pattern where we're kind of traveling sideways, deciding whether we're going to break up or we're going to break down and test those moving averages. So I'd say on the bearish side, the candle so far today, we're not seeing continuous follow through where we would have wanted it to have follow through up to that $51.26. So that's definitely more on the bearish side right now, but it can change throughout the day. Remember, the candle can change throughout the day until the close. Number 3, the RSI is pointing down right now. What I wanted to show you on the RSI, this was a trend line I've had intact for quite a while now. So you can see how it was intact, and we broke down through it, and then we came back up. We broke down through it, we came back up. And then, guys, we actually broke down through, and now we tried to get back up into it, and we're failing. So we're kind of falling back down a little bit more right now. So that's something you want to pay attention to, that we didn't get back up inside of these higher lows that was taking place. Now, if I get that off there, I also want to show you this. Do you see this trend line right here? We're going to have to see if we come up and test that, and if we're going to break through that, or if we're going to fall and bounce off that. So right now, the RSI, it's at 59, so that's a good point to be at. That's a good strong RSI, but right now we're just kind of having that price was moving up, and then our RSI was moving down, so we have to pay attention to that divergence and see what happens. Like I said, we can move sideways for a while and see which way we're going to break. So we have that plan for the upside and the downside. And number 4, the moving average that was going down right here. It's just starting to point down, so volume's starting to fall off a little bit. So those are the things that I'm paying attention to on Litecoin. So my upside targets are $51.26. My downside targets, we want to see hold are $45.03 and then $44.20. And where I got those from was our 20 EMA, and then our 200 moving average, and then after that we would look down here off the real bodies around that $40.73 to the downside. We'd look for support, then it'd be down here at that 50 in this trend line we'd be paying attention to. And on the upside, we would want to see if we could test that 51.26, and then it would be up here around that 55.99, so we'll call it 56. Right in that range. But right now, it's just kind of that time. You want to be a little bit patient. You want to see what Litecoin's going to do. We're going to see if we get pushed up here. You know, you could see rejection, see kind of like that double or triple top, because we pushed up here, we fell back down, we pushed up again, we fell back down. Then we'd have to see if we either bounce off that and fall back down, or if we finally close up above that. So that's going to be important. It's also important that we hold these moving averages, especially with that golden cross that's taking place. Typically, when you have those, you'll get a continuous move to the upside, but it needs to come on volume. Volume is one of the most important things. I can't overemphasize how important volume is. So when you're having a move to the upside, you see that volume, you really want strong volume, and you want to see it expand. Usually it'll start out smaller and expand. So like right here, do you see that volume, how it just kind of expanded up? That's what you're looking for. So guys, remember, Litecoin's at 47.48 right now, just kind of in that neutral territory. We're just going to have to see what happens, see where the close is today. Today's close, you know, I've been saying this for about a week or two now. Each day's close is so important because we're up above that 200-day moving average. We don't want to lose it. And also today's close, if we close down where we're at here, guys, you know, we could continue to start falling down because yesterday's close was right here. And what we would want today is a higher close than that, so somewhere up in here, or at least to try to test this 51.26, and it's not happening right now. So just pay attention to the downside, the upside. Remember, those are my targets. Upside target, we're seeing if we can get above 51.26. Downside targets, we're looking at for support around 45.03, 44.20, and then around that $40. That's what I'm looking at right now. But I still think the key is to be patient. Be very patient, my friends. That's the best thing that you can do in this market, and really wait to see which way the whales are going to push this. But what I really love about Litecoin is we're up above that 200-day moving average. There's a lot of good things happening for it. So, you know, guys, if you like these videos, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We're trying for that 150 likes, and I can't do it without you. So, God bless each and every one of you.